Hello and welcome to the second part of Unit 1. In this part of Unit 1, we're just going to go over some math. I hope it's review, but in case it's not, and you need more that is here, feel free to ask me. I will more than help. The first bit of math we're going to go over is scientific notation. Scientific notation is a way of writing numbers that are either really big or really small in a more succinct manner. So for example, if I have the number 204936 and I just made that up, instead of writing it like this, I could maybe write it as 2.04 times 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 to the 5th. Okay, in scientific notation, you may recall that large numbers have positive exponents. On the other hand, if I had 0.0000, oh, that was supposed to be a 0, 3, I could write this as 3 times 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but it's -6 because this is a small number. Okay. It is expected in this class that you will be able to work in scientific notation, switch in and out of it. It would be nice if you were able to do basic multiplication and division with it. So for example, if I told you something like 10 to the 4th divided by 2 times 10 to the 3rd, I would hope that you would realize that you could write this as 1/2 times 10 to the 4th over 10 to the 3rd, which is 0.5 times 10 to the 1st power, or in other words, 5. I realize that in the day of calculators, this sort of skill isn't as necessary as maybe it was in the past. The next little bit of math I'm going to remind you about is the Pythagorean theorem. Pythagorean theorem relates the angles and sides of a right triangle. So you have to have a 90-degree angle in your triangle. We look at one of the other two angles. We're going to call it theta. And now I can label the sides. Though it doesn't really matter. Typically C is put on the side opposite the right angle, and A and B are on the legs. Then I can write that C squared equals A squared plus B squared. Okay. And for this, you really didn't need the angle. I was working ahead a little bit, if you will. To the next slide, where we go over SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA is a mnemonic. It is a way of remembering your trig functions. So what SO stands for is that the sine function equals the opposite side divided by the hypotenuse. The cosine function, CA, is the adjacent side divided by the hypotenuse. And TOA is for the tangent, which is the opposite side divided by the adjacent. So again, we go back to a right triangle. Here's my 90-degree angle. Here is an angle theta. This side would be the side adjacent, usually given the letter A. Directly opposite, we have the side opposite, usually with the letter O. And the hypotenuse is over here opposite the right angle, and it is H. So now I can write that sine theta is O divided by H, opposite divided by hypotenuse. I can write that cosine theta is the adjacent side length divided by the hypotenuse, and tangent theta is the opposite side divided by the adjacent. The other piece you need to know is that if I know two of the sides, I can get the angle. So theta would be, for example, the inverse sine of the opposite side divided by the hypotenuse. And I can do the same thing for the other trig functions as well. If you need any help with review, further examples, because I haven't really done examples with this at all, but further instruction with any of the math in this unit, just reach out to me and ask, and I will help you one-on-one or provide resources, whatever works best for you.